You're welcome back to the Pulse. Now, it's increasingly becoming curious how security personnel accused of every crime get away with them. In fact, there are countless examples of killings and other abuses of civilians involving either the police or the military. In most of these cases, the security services themselves set up investigations, and the result mainly is exoneration of their own. They are judges in their own courts and pronounce judgment without explaining how they arrived at their decisions. The latest is the alleged shooting to death of a man at Kaswa Millennium City by soldiers. After investigating themselves, the military has exonerated its own. My colleague Derek Ekosam joins me with a catalogue of some killings and brutalities in which the police and military cleared their men of wrongdoing. Eko, can you take us through some of these issues? Let's start first with the Ghana Police Service.
Well, two issues come to mind. The first one is the Mampo Nurse and Midwifery Training College issue. Remember, there was this shooting at Dawn where they were supposed to be attacked by armed robbers. Two brothers went to the aid of their female tutor. They were shot and killed. We didn't hear anything about that. And then in September 2013, also at Gomwa Pomazi near Winneba, there is the case of the death of Lance Corporals Francis Appiah and Emmanuel Tete. These two issues stand out for the police service.
And just for context, the Winneba story is one I covered in doing a follow-up for the next year. I actually did it last year in April, trying to get an understanding of whether the family of these two who were killed were taken care of in terms of compensation. They were promised that. Up until now, as we speak, they are yet to get anything from them. No word from the leadership, the IGP or any of the leadership at the Ghana Police Service headquarters on whether or not this woman or the families of these two men will be catered for. Also, we know that the two men who shot the police officers at Gomwa Pomazi are still at post in Winneba, and they are still working. No action has been taken in their regards. That's for the police. Quite a difficult picture to look at. But what has come up now and is making this worrisome is the issue of the military. You covered that story. Tell us whether or not this is the first time we're seeing something like this, or there's a history to this.
Well, that is not the first time. Let me take you back to May 2010, and there's the story of a group of soldiers who attacked MTT officials at Swami for arresting their driver who was said to be driving without illegal licenses. And then on May 22, the soldiers went berserk when he was cautioned for driving carelessly and dangerously at Asokwa, also in Kumasi. Coming down to 4th of June and then the 5th of June 2010, same year, there were some nasty accidents which were incidents which were widely reported by the media. It all began on Friday, June 4, 2010, when the soldiers from 4th Garrison went on rampage, and then they brutalized more than a dozen policemen at various duty posts in the Kumasi metropolis, leaving 3 of them unconscious. That's for June. And then 3 years later, on the 6th of March 2013, there was this story about some soldiers beating up a photojournalist at the Independence Square. They were cleared of the act. When we spoke to the PRO of the army and we showed him a picture that showed that there was actually a hand on the cheek of the person,
yes,
he said, well, the fact that you have the hand there, you can't conclude that it's a slap.
And I remember I spoke to him at the time, Colonel Atintande, he made that point on this matter. Interesting. Is that all, or there's more to this?
There are 2 other issues. And one of them involves the case at Millennium City, which I covered extensively.
Okay.
And before we get to that, let me take you to March last year. There was the incident at Asenwa, a community in the Kwabri East district of the Ashanti region, and a 49-year-old amputee, Kweku Opon, popularly called Noah or Ablaze, was allegedly murdered by a police and military patrol team for refusing to stop when he was asked to stop.
And then they beat that person up.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Akol. He's given us the litany, the catalogue of incidents that have happened with both the police and the military on brutalities, and sometimes instances where civilians have died as a result of shooting or brutalizing them by security personnel. Let's now speak to a member of the Defense and Interior Committee in Parliament, Major Retired Eric Kodro. He's also the Member of Parliament for Nkranza. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother.
Now, as a former military officer, does it come to you as a surprise that when the public expects sanctions against some security personnel over brutalities, the security agencies often clear their men of wrongdoing?
If it is an issue where an investigation has been conducted and then the person or the the personnel who were involved in perpetrating that act, that illegal or lawful act against a law-abiding citizen, then the investigation comes out to prove that the person did it illegally, unlawfully, then the law must take its course. They must punish him, and even after that punishment, they have to even hand him over. If the action caused death, it resulted death to somebody, he should even be transferred to the civil police for him to be tried at the civil court, because the military is under two laws: the military law and then the civil law.
And Major, it's good you've clarified this, because the truth of the matter is we're yet to even recall one instance of any of the issues we've raised today as just examples of when a military officer or a police officer does a thing like this in the line of duty, kills a civilian, when there's been no attack on him, no evidence of him being attacked. We don't see that attention that is given to such a case like a civilian killing a fellow civilian. Why is that?
Now, having said what I said earlier, now let me also quick to say that why should they go for a soldier find himself at that place, the killing zone? What was he doing there? Who sent him there? If the person went there on the frolic of his own, he went and did his own operation and something resulted, death resulted, he should not be forgiven. But if he went there officially, it was the military that sent him there. It was as a result of maybe the breakdown of law and order, and then he was sent there to keep peace or to maintain law and order. And as a result, this thing came out because he didn't go there on his own. Because he went there because he was to provide or he was to perform official function, official duty. And then when that thing comes out, then they will go in and find out whether that act he needed to fire that person and kill him, or it should have been the other way around.
Okay, maybe
so if he's found guilty,
Major,
if
sorry.
he's found guilty.
Major Retired Record, sorry, let me just come in at this point. Maybe we're looking at it on a very broad sense. Let's zero in on one specific example and see if what you're explaining actually fits or not. The case at Kaswa Millennium City is one of people who were protesting about a demolition exercise that was ongoing in the area they did not approve of. In their charge to go and demonstrate, two soldiers in their bid to disperse the crowd shot and killed one person. Their report by the military suggests that these two did no wrong because according to them they were being attacked. How then do you explain a matter like this?
Yeah, that's why I was coming to that. Now, you see it from a different angle, different perspective. The military, or I also see it from a different angle. Now, once an investigation has been conducted, and then I've seen that the investigation revealed that the person was attacked. Now, the Constitution enjoins the military to provide security for the people, not to go and kill them. But he was sent there to maintain law and order, and then he went there, and then the same people who are enjoying the protection of the armed forces are attacking him, or them, attacking them, the soldiers. All that they need to do is that the nation needs them. The nation needs the military, needs the soldiers, and therefore they should not sit down for a group of people or one person to attack them, either with stones, either with cutlasses, either with even a weapon.
According to the reports we have, these men were not attacked with stones or with sticks. These are men who are protesting, just shouting and demonstrating. Will that account for a soldier to draw his arm and shoot a civilian?
If they are protesting, they are shouting, violence, that will not require the shooting or killing of anybody. But if the soldiers were attacked, that is the only way a soldier can defend himself. So the investigation will go. So I would want you to go and find out the report of the investigation. Otherwise, you just conclude without seeing the investigation. At times we will jump to conclusion that the people were not attacked. They were not attacked. But meanwhile, when you go down and then you see that those witnesses that were called before the investigation team, came out clearly, and they have evidence that the people were attacking.
And so they have no option.
That into
and so, Major, you're saying that
we see different way.
And so, Major, you're saying that if a soldier is being attacked, hypothetically, if a soldier is being attacked, the only option for him is to kill the person in self-defense? Is he not trained to maim?
No, it's a kill. Maybe the aim is not to kill. Maybe a warning shot was given. Yesterday, I was even listening to news that somebody who was killed was not even closer to the soldiers, but maybe a stray bullet went and killed somebody somewhere who was also an onlooker. He was also observing the scene. The bullet went and killed him when the man was even giving warning shot, or when the man wanted to drive people away. So we look at all these circumstances surrounding the killing.
Something just came to mind, Major. Clear this up for me. And as a former military man, I know you have an experience in explaining what the protocols are. If you send a troop out to go and maintain law and order, should they go with live bullets?
Yes.
Not rubber bullets?
The weapon is for what? The weapon is to kill. Listen to me. The weapon which have been provided to soldiers is not going to kill birds. It's to kill enemies. So they go there for you to whatever they are going to do.
But there are two different scenarios.
To use a weapon, they use it.
Okay, I get
goes with weapon.
But there are two different scenarios. It's different when a military man is going on a war front with a gun or with ammunition. This is to control a crowd, to control a situation where people are protesting. Do you still send live bullets to an event like that or a situation like that?
Yeah, you are going to we are going on an operation where it involves armed robbers. And you say a soldier should go with a stick.
No, this is not armed robbery. I'm asking about crowd control.
You are going to a place where law and order has broken down. Maybe it has resulted into killing of some people. And therefore you have to go and save life. And if you are to kill somebody for you to protect about hundreds of people, you have to do it. It depends on the order given to the soldier before he went to the operational area. So the orders will say that people are destroying, killing, life and property are at stake. So go and defend life and property. That is the order given to him.
But Major, what we saw at Kaswa Millennium City was not a case of violence and people vandalizing property. No, that was not what it was. It was people marching, demonstrating against an action that was happening in their community they did not approve of. Do you say that it still warrants military men to go there with live bullets to shoot people in the head?
If what you are saying is the right thing, what actually happened, there is no need to kill anybody. But if what the military is also saying, that they were attacked, their lives were in danger, and therefore they released shots to prevent them, and incidentally, it went and killed somebody. There are different scenarios that we are painting. That is why I'm saying that let's get the report. Otherwise, what you are saying, what you think, the perception on the side of those who think that the soldiers shouldn't have done that, and then they're on the side of soldiers who also think that their lives were in danger. There are two different scenarios. So until we get the report, what the report said, how they were attacked, whether they were attacked or not attacked, then we can confidently say that yes, the soldiers were at fault, or they had the reason to shoot, and that resulted into killing. No soldier would want to go and kill an innocent law-abiding citizen. No, they have to be defended.
All right, Major. One of the things that has made this an issue also is that in many of these instances, and there are lots of examples that we've itemized here on the show, seeing incidences of where security personnel go and brutalize civilians. They say they do an inquiry within the service. The report is done. We never get to know the details of them. And then no punishment is meted out for us to know what happens. Is it not about time we begin to look at that option of an independent inquiry where it's out of the hands of the civilian and also in the hands of out of the hands of the security agencies, where the outcome is accepted by all parties?
Yeah, it could be done. independent inquiry could be done. It has been going on all the time. A lot of inquiries have come out to prove that soldiers have faulted and they have been punished. Some of them have been handed over to the civil court. They've been tried and jailed at Nsawam. Yes, I'm a witness to all these issues. But at times it depends on the morale of the soldiers. The people are there, they've been trained to defend the nation, to make sure that law and order is not broken down completely. It shouldn't go into anarchy. And therefore, the soldiers' morale must be protected all the time.
Okay.
This is what some of the civilians don't know.
All right.
You will need the same soldier to come onto the scene where armed robbers are attacking you. So if the soldier was humiliated when he went to an operational area and by mistake, he released shot and then it killed somebody. If it is really ascertained that the person killed somebody by mistake and not intentionally, they may punish him, but not to the extent that you would want the person to be killed.
Okay.
The same soldier, you need him to come and defend you.
Okay, all right. Major, I think I get your point at this point. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program. Major Retired Eric Odro is a member of the Defense and Interior Committee in Parliament. He's also a former military.